Capricorn, you dirty devil, welcome into your reading. Capricorn is known with the archetype for the devil card in tarot, so I thought it appropriate to do it on the back of the devil game board there. I think what we will do is a kind of a general reading for right now for the dates of September the 27th. Let me look at this. I believe it's going to be through the 11th. And the reason I say that is because we are in that new moon phase period almost, or where actually the new moon happened on September the 21st. So now we're in the waxing crescent, right up to the 28th. So the first quarter is going to arrive. Quarter moon is going to arrive around the 29th in a couple of days. And I thought we just came out of all of those phases of the moon. This is a great time for planning our intentions and, you know, trying to manipulate our energies the best we can. So we're going to get into the reading and see what is up for Capricorn. I'm going to get my face out of the way. We'll start this shuffle and start to reveal some cards. Here we go. Shrinking me down, moving me over. I'm sorry if I'm giving you motion sickness there. What is going to be revealed? Okay, so we're starting off with the Ten of Wands in the reversed position. Yeah. All right. Need a little bit more here. Get started. It's like my shuffle's taking forever. Okay. All right. All right. Cool. We got a magic reveal too. Surely it's in the manifesting position too. Nine of Cups. Okay. So the Ten of Wands in the upright obviously is an overburden. You're being overburdened by something. But I think I want to right out the gate talk about this dominant energy right here in the very first position, the Ten of Wands. And let's see. Let's see why that's there, okay? Relief, release, delegation, freedom, overcoming a burden, perspective, balance, resilience, and recovery. Okay. Okay, well, it was followed by the 7-2, so I'm wondering what we're releasing a energy that is something maybe within an offering that came to you that seemed a little bit on the, not on the up and up, but a little bit more like a vindictive kind of energy, maybe a sneaky energy. The Seven of Swords has that sneaky kind of energy behind it. So I'm wondering if somebody's trying to manipulate in some way, because it's followed by the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is this, an action energy, especially with when it comes to romance. And, he's a stud, right? Or she's a stud, so to speak. And maybe you're feeling that energy that you're not necessarily trusting it because it's followed in the in your boundaries area here of the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. Normally that would be a divine offering, right? That would be like, sweet, I trust what you're saying to me, but this shows me there is no trust. I'm going to show you, I'll show you the Seven of Swords too. And actually, you know what? I think what I want to do is I want to read to you the Seven of Swords because there is a couple of extra, a little bit of extra information in there for that. And I feel like it might help bring out some more of that energy so we can kind of take a look at it together. So the card, the Seven of Swords, talks about cleverness, secrecy, or strategic thinking. But it also warns us about dishonesty, manipulation, right? And also about avoiding responsibility. So it encourages careful planning, but it also talks about ethical considerations on things. So sometimes taking shortcuts or acting in secrecy can lead to unintended consequences, right? It's a sneaking figure, right? It represents stealth, deception, or strategic maneuvering. He may be avoiding some confrontation or acting dishonestly. So the 5 swords in his arms there, they symbolize taking control, but possibly through, some questionable means, right? And the 2 swords that are, stuck in the ground behind him talks about unfinished business, or a deliberate choice to leave something unresolved. And that's kind of why I wanted to continue reading that to you, is because I kind of got that deceptive type scenario. And then, like I said, we followed by the Knight of Cups. So what does this mean to you? Honestly, I feel like some kind of offering came into you and you didn't quite trust it, right? Maybe this was in your recent past. I'm gonna keep going on with the cards because, like I said, the Ace of Cups is a divine offering. So here's this offering, and it's in the reversed position. And then, to beat it all, it's followed by the Five of Swords, which also talks about at what cost did I win, right? So perhaps this caused a tower moment in your little section of time, okay? And so we see that there. Yeah, that's crazy that fell like that. That tells the story right there, all 4 cards. Okay, so what was the deception here? We have the Five of Swords, okay? And we'll take a look at the Five of Swords, kind of a generic version of the Five of Swords here. But defeat, betrayal, and conflict, right? Like I said, that's kind of a generic version of it, but and I do have more explanations, higher explanations, but I'm trying not to waste your time. So we'll get back to the board here. So anyway, the Tower shows up. The Tower is the illusion card, right? It's at the foundation. It's built upon a solid foundation, right? This building's not going anywhere, but everybody's jumping out the windows. So the illusion is there are no windows. Okay, that's the waking up to the realization that perhaps a situation you've been in, a relationship that you've been in, this awakening has caused this to throw out all of the illusionary ideas that you thought about something, someone, perhaps. So that's a great card, actually, that shows up, And it being on top of the whole board, on top of the devil, it begs us to take a look at the things that we've been chained to, right? So perhaps you're finished with a relationship or one that has come to a tip top, okay? So then it's followed by the Two of Cups. And as soon as I say that, I see, well, there's union involved, okay? There is, perhaps this is relationship. Perhaps this, it's a coming back together, maybe. Maybe you came back with somebody, and then it's followed by the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. So I'm going to get a little bit more before I go on. What are we trying to juggle there? Whether the Two of Pentacles is upright or in reversed. Okay, so, the Two of Cups is a unity, right? You see the two people making an offering together. Perhaps you've, I don't know, perhaps somebody deceived you and it caused a huge fight, a huge argument, a blow up, a disconnection, right? And you were wanting that relationship to mature, to come back together, okay? Or the other person is wanting that relationship to come back. We could be dealing with fire signs here. We could be dealing with air signs here. Um, I don't want to make that declaration right off the bat, though. So, but Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. Let's take a look. Imbalance, right? Disorganization, financial strain, and neglect. Instability, poor prioritization, chaos, stress. That's kind of what I was getting out of the whole thing anyway. It's just maybe perhaps you made a decision to leave a situation, that was not serving you, or you guys broke up, separated, I'm taking some time for myself, whatever. So, yeah, we'll get back into it. So then top left, we have Temperance in the reverse position. Sometimes Temperance in reverse talks about an overindulgence, maybe, perhaps, but it could signal something a little bit bigger, which would be this really hurt your soul, hurt your heart in a way that caused you to maybe lose. We do see imbalance with the Two of Pentacles here, but perhaps something shook you at the very soul. You know what I'm saying? I want to take a look at temperance in the reverse position for you here. Um, in the reverse position, temperance talks about, yeah, the same thing: imbalance, impatience, misalignment, lack of moderation, which is why I mentioned maybe the fact of overindulgence too. So maybe this caused somebody to start to overindulge, this separation type scenario, or perhaps you could be. And so then this is maybe putting an end to this journey, right? You got the Fool in the reversed position here, so which in the upright position will be a beginning, and the Fool would be the ending. The Fool card is the beginning and ending of the tarot deck. The 0 card and the number 22, which they don't exist. So they are both the ending and the beginning, which means that it's a repetitive thing. So you're seeing this repetitively, and perhaps you have a huge decision. I'm surprised we don't see the 2 of Swords show up right now, which usually kind of, is forcing you into a decision type making scenario here. I'm not sure. Okay, so we got the Knight of Pentacles. That is the logic card, okay? Logical minded card. You're manifesting some logic upon this situation, okay? You're manifesting a plan. You're manifesting a direction. You're manifesting an opportunity, and it's followed by the Ace of Pentacles as well. So the Ace of Pentacles is that offering, that divine offering that's coming in, right? Except we're seeing it in the reversed position. So let's look at the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position real quick and see why that has showed up. Maybe a missed opportunity. Okay, so you're in this, and maybe all this fighting, bickering, arguing, and separation is putting a dent in the finances. Maybe you're wondering if whether or not you should have waited to do this, or somebody else is thinking this about you now, or in your energy. Not sure. Not sure how that's going to play out yet. But it's followed by the Emperor. So the Emperor is the stability card. Okay, he can't become the Emperor without being stable. However, there is a bit of there's a stubbornness in that. He didn't get to be the Emperor by being, by niceties, right? The Emperor has this kind of a very rigid stick to your, stick to your guns, so to speak. And I don't mean that in any bad way. That was kind of maybe a bad analogy, but excuse me. But then we're followed by the Queen of Pentacles, also in the reverse position. So this is definitely talking about some financial upheaval here. You lost your stability in your finances now, okay? And it's left you very ungrounded. And the reason I say that is because it was followed by the Nine of Wands, okay? Wounded and broken in a scenario here. Okay, so Capricorn, what's the question? I know you're like, I need this beautiful answer here. What is it? What's the answer to this? And I think the answer is going to be stop focusing on your past right here. Stop focusing on everything at this moment that's taken place. Find you a subtle zen hole somewhere, and turn your cheek towards something happy. That's step one. Step one is just get out of this immediate situation and find you a beautiful spot to sit, a beautiful place to lay, a beautiful place to rest and calm your mind. And I mean that in the most beautiful, sincere way. Okay. Because your reconciliation you're seeing in the reconciliation of this Two of Cups right here. You're seeing a repetitive nature. Perhaps this is a karmic relationship, and you can look online about karmic relationships. I don't have to go into that. You already know probably. But the thing of it is maybe you're in that and you're just not quite accepting of that yet because that energy's still kind of following you. However, the Four of Cups in the reversed position, okay? If there is a silver lining, let me look at this real quick. If there is a silver lining, Awakening, right? Acceptance, reconnection, a perspective, emotional shift, an engagement, or a renewal. I think you have to ask yourself whether or not you want to deal with this situation anymore. And maybe that's where you're at, right? You're going, I've seen this, and now he wants to make up. I've been through this. Now she wants to come back. Okay. Okay. Um, you know, a lot of times we like to just take the closest brick wall and put our head up against it and bounce it off of it as many times as we can till we get a headache, and then we go to sleep finally, which is the equivalent to, why don't I just stay in something that never has served me? And I just keep taking the abuse over and over again because, well, hey, um, I'm a I'm a doormat. And man, I am so being, um, yeah, the big D. Okay, I'm your friend though, and I have to tell you this. I'm already telling you right now. I'm seeing the Three of Wands in the reverse position. Okay, Three of Wands upright is like, check it out. You're looking out the window, going, hey, there is something out there, opportunity. It's exploration. It's that energy of, I can't wait to go explore something new. It's grand ideas. It's, I've got some things behind me that I have explored and conquered, and but now we're in the reverse position again, followed by the Four of Pentacles, which is kind of this hoarding, hanging on to energy, right? However, the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position, take a look at that, okay? Greed, materialism, overspending, instability, possessiveness, resistance to change. Hello, are you out there? If you're listening to me, if you've stayed this long, I know you're like, dude, I want to smack you in the head. And but really, I think you need to look in the mirror, smack yourself in the head. Hey, uh, here's your sign. I don't know how else to say that. What else do we got to say? This is not serving you, right? This is not serving you. Look, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm seeing the cards, and the cards have energy, and the cards aren't lying. You know, I'm not sitting here making up some information about these cards here. Okay, we're seeing the King of Swords in reverse. This is a tyrannous situation. It's chaotic. Okay, and it's got you so unhappy, unhappy, right? I can't make this up. I'm gonna give you a few more cards though. Maybe we'll have a silver lining in this. Okay, there always has to be a silver lining. There always will be a silver lining, but you have to use strength, and the strength card should show up. If it does show up, then that's it. We're going to close this baby, and there you go. So, okay, Sun, the Seven of Pentacles. All right, we're going to stick with the Seven of Pentacles. I need you to take the Tower and use that as an example. It happened already, right? It's going to continue to go. Seven of Pentacles, these emotion, health, wealth, stability, okay? All of these things you have conquered. You have planted seeds of faith, and they have worked out for you, okay? And you planted a seed, and you're just waiting on it to grow. And I feel like maybe that is the lesson here. That is the takeaway. Um, I'm not sure how much more or what answer it is. Maybe you're asking, do I stay? And I didn't mean to say any of that stuff to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. It's not that. It's just that, what would you do if you had a best friend, you know, and or a loved one, or somebody really close to you, and you just seen them suffer over and over again, and maybe they even came to you a bunch of times, and while at first you wanted to listen to them, you wanted to say, you know, it's going to be okay. I think if you just stick it out, you know, maybe he could do this, or maybe she could do that, and you know, and after a while, when you're seeing this person stay in this situation that is detrimental to their health, it's hard to watch. Even try to imagine sitting in our shoes, you know, in somebody else's shoes, if you can do that. And I know that's not like, you know, would be kind of hard, hard pill to swallow. But here's the case. You're wanting your happy card turned upright. You want your sun card with happiness, joy, and all this, but you're in a situation that's not serving you, and you've got to absolutely walk away from stuff like this. That's stealing and robbing your joy. It's taking away from your sovereignty, who you are. You're better than this. Um, you are a healer of the ages, right? Um, and you have power beyond what you see right now, which is why I said maybe your very very first thing you can do is just find a place of zen somewhere, and start small and move yourself out of this situation, whatever it is. Find somebody that could help you move out, move away. I wished I didn't have to have reads like this, but that's what tarot is for. It's for us to take a look, on the inside. And my heart goes out to you, Capricorn. It does. So be brave and and do what you need to do. I think you're seeing the repetitiveness in this relationship, okay? And you know, just because it's a knight doesn't necessarily mean it's shining armor, right? That knight could have gone through lots of battles. We're seeing the nine of wands over there and struggles, and maybe they haven't dealt with some inner wounds. Maybe she is injured, an injured soul. Maybe she has some shadow work that she needs to do. This could apply to both masculine and feminine energies. Um, so just take what resonates with you, okay, and just know that I got your back. I wish that I could do the work for you, but I cannot. And I would be lying if I said, "Oh, hey, just throw it all on me. I'll take it and take it all away." That's not true. Nobody wants to go through that, and that's why we continue to see 365 degrees come around again. Is because we're refusing to do that inner work, and it's time. It's time. This is your wake up call. It's time to do it. So do it. Come back and tell me that you did it, and tell me how much better it's going to be for you. Okay, how better it's getting, because of those are the stories that you need to tell yourself how much better it's getting. Today it's so much better, and lie to yourself if you have to at first, because you're going to start to create a habit of winning, a habit of loving again, a habit of healing. And you've talked yourself into this situation by staying, because it felt comfortable to you and safe. And I feel like maybe you're afraid to move out of it. Um, it's time to fly. It's time to fly. Time to be the phoenix. A lot of people never knew it was a phoenix at first. Okay, it rose up and it was this beautiful, on flaming, creature there, but nobody knew the fire that the phoenix went through. So be the phoenix. Rise up. All right. I love you. Come back and see me. Okay. All right. Bye.